Good afternoon, everybody. This is Diggs. It's a beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and do I have a treat for you today? I had the opportunity reaching out to Chrissy Baker, the voice actor of Salire. She is absolutely incredible and decided to sit down in an interview with me. We had a lot of cool questions. We had a lot of fun, and it was all around just an amazing experience. This was the first official interview I've ever kind of done in my career as a YouTuber, and it was definitely memorable for me. We did have some video issues though, so we went ahead and replaced the video footage with just still images of me and Chrissy. So if you're wondering where the footage went, that's all on me. I think I probably messed it up some point along the way. Let's go ahead and dig in, everybody. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Diggs, and happy 1-year anniversary for everyone. Today, we have a very special guest, Chrissy, the voice actor for Salire. So, Chrissy, welcome in. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
So, we do have a bit of a tradition here on the channel, and it is that we do like to talk about what the weather's like. And out here in the Pacific Northwest, it's beautiful. Where are you at?
I'm in 70 degrees, sunny Los Angeles. The birds are chirping, the flowers are blooming. Just feel so sorry for me.
That sounds absolutely
It's
terrible.
terrible. Yeah.
In our conversations, you did mention that you have a dog. What type of dog do you have?
Oh, yes. I have a miniature dachshund, and he's a silver dapple. He's beautiful. His name is Peppy.
Mhm.
He's an actor, too. He actually has his own show.
No way.
Yeah, you can check it out on Facebook. It's called Pet Moms.
We will definitely put that below in the description. I'm actually kind of curious now.
Yeah, it runs in the family, the acting bug.
Clearly it does. So you're the voice actor of Salire, and I kind of want to jump right in. What's it like being a voice actor for Salire?
Yeah, I'm sporting her pigtails today.
Yeah, you are.
Her black, and yeah.
You got it all.
Yeah, she's such a treat to voice. I just love how sassy she is and how she, says what's on her mind.
Yep.
And then there's this super lovable side to her that you see in her relationship with her brother and her loyalty towards her family. So she's great. She's, complex and interesting and a lot of fun.
So you, before you played Salire, did you do any preparation? Like, what did the preparation look like for you?
Yeah, so it was interesting. I was cast off my demo, so there wasn't an audition process. So they had, a clear vision of what, of the voice type. But once I was cast, I did get her bio and specs and could really dig into her and previous performances and, get a better idea of storyline, etc.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm a little bit curious in this whole process. This was, of course, all while COVID-19 was going on. Did this change anything for you?
Yeah. So the first session, I think was about a year ago, like early March of 2020. So I think that session was maybe one of my last few in-person sessions before the lockdown in LA. So I remember it well. So what's changed since then is all of my sessions for her have been from my home studio, which thankfully I had set in place several years before COVID. So I was very lucky. So the difference is, in person, you would meet with the director and engineer and have that face-to-face. And then now it's just from home and doing all of that, like how we're doing now virtually.
That's
and then
super crazy.
Yeah.
I have to ask, since I talked to the voice actor of Sir Rob a little bit the other day, he said he basically has a closet that he crawls into to record in. Is yours a little bit bigger than a closet, or is it about a closet?
Yeah, it's like the size of a walk-in closet, but it's a whisper room. So, it's got all the things. Yeah.
Now, how do you did you have to commission someone to make that, or have a contractor do anything special for that, or?
No, my husband and I were just able to do it together. So yeah,
wow,
we've been in the biz for a very long time, and so we just put our resources together.
The whole family's in the business, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's true.
So actors often talk about their muse. And I'm curious what your source of inspiration is, whether it's for Salir specifically or if it's for voice acting.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think, well, for voice acting as a whole or acting in general, I think it's a project to project basis. There's
Yeah.
sometimes where a character spec will kind of nod at a performance I've seen, and I do a lot of comedy. And so, I can pick up from those things or people in my life that I kind of want to imitate in a way. But with Salir, I think she's so well written and she has such a very clear story that I don't know if I have one source of inspiration for her because it's so easy to put myself in her shoes.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's a little of Salir in me. So I'm definitely able to pull from that, her little spunk.
I think whenever people are doing acting, being able to be connected with something a little bit more real and connected to yourself makes it so much easier. We kind of have gotten the backstory of Salire a little bit, and her story is probably one of the most popular in War of the Visions, just because it really released alongside Adelard's story and Lucia's story really back in the beginning of War of the Visions. Did you get a sense when you were doing your voice acting that this was going to be as popular or maybe one of the better stories in the entire game?
Well, that means a lot. I'm really happy to hear that, that so many people love her story. I think it totally makes sense that, she's so multifaceted, right? She's still at that age where she's coming into her own and she's finding herself. And there's this whole, like I keep saying spunky, but it's true. There's this whole courageous, fearless, spunky side to her. But then, and she's like, oh, let me at him. Then there's this whole other side where she's a bit fearful and timid. And it's like, oh, I didn't sign up for this. So I think between her age and her experiences, there's definitely, a huge, I don't know what the writers have in mind, but there's, there's a big story there for her, I would think. Yeah.
I think you can see that in a lot of War of the Visions characters. Like, it feels like to me, as I've looked at the characters, I myself am an English major, and I love reading and I love writing stories. And there's so many characters that have these breadcrumbs laid out to have like an incredible future. And kind of, since War of the Visions is a little Game of Thrones-esque, I just see this world of Adelard dying and Salir becoming like, I don't know, a main story element. But again, I haven't read further in JP, so I don't know what happens. And of course, you can't talk about that. So, have you kind of like been able to give anything specific to Salir? Like, were you able to give her any of your mannerisms, or did you have like creative control over maybe giving her something unique since she was so similar to you?
I think the similarities might just be a happy coincidence or why I was cast off my demo. But, it's, I said prior, it's so well written that I don't think there's a ton that I would have to pick out myself. But, working with the director, I definitely think that an actor ultimately has freedom to make those little decisions and what you bring of yourself or your background into the character. So it's probably a little bit of a culmination.
Yeah, it definitely just seems like there's something there, like she's just this incredible character and that you really brought her to life. For players that are fans of your voice work, is there a future work in Final Fantasy, do you think, for you?
Well, that would be great. It's funny. I'm NDA'd on so many projects, so many games this year. And there's probably going to be a little bit of a wait because of COVID.
Yep.
So NDA'd meaning I just, can't talk about it, but I look forward to when I can for sure.
So this might not be the last time I see you, is what you're saying.
Oh, no. I hope
not. Gosh, well, I'm trying to think if there's any other questions, and I really want to ask kind of like the big question, because translation is really interesting to me and localization is as well. What do you think sets War of the Visions apart in terms of voice acting? Because so many of these Japanese translated games, if you're in the community, when you're playing these games, players will actually just turn on the Japanese voice actors and they will turn on the subtitles. What do you think is different about War of the Visions that is making players actually enjoy these English voiceovers?
Well, that makes me very happy that it's so enjoyable. And, you know, on a personal level, I've been acting professionally since I was 4. So being authentic is to the character, to the scene is so important to me, and that's my job. So that means a lot. And then I think on a greater scale, it just speaks to the cast, the casting, the production team, the director. We have a fabulous director, Kevin McMillan, and I think, you know, he really takes the time in the sessions to go over the context and what's going on with the character in the scene and what happened before. And so he really gives us the opportunity to do our best job possible for the characters. That's what I think.
That's super awesome. I guess I've never really thought, if you're a voice actor, that you actually have like a director there coaching you, because I think a lot of people's perception is that you just go in, read your lines, and that's that. But you actually have somebody there kind of guiding you through it, setting the scene.
And a great director at that. Yeah. So typically you will have a director or the client in your session. So there's a couple people weighing in, and again, you have that freedom as an actor to make choices, but it's a collaboration. And I think ultimately when we have those collaborations, that's what makes projects so special.
Yeah.
Because there's so much going into it.
Yeah. One, I think you can see that in the way that War of the Visions has been translated, opposed to many other games that have come from Japan and localized here. So
everyone really cares about it, and I think that's what matters, is the heart of everyone going into the project.
I mean, just in interacting with many of the voice actors, all of you guys are from LA, it seems like. And a lot of you guys know each other too, which is really fun.
LA is this huge place, right? It's got millions of people. It's got over 80 cities. Well over that. But the voice acting community is a little small, so it's kind of nice. You kind of run back when we were in the studios. You know, you would run into people, or you're able to catch up with people. So,
well, hopefully you'll be back in the studio soon. Chrissy, thank you so much for joining us today. We're a pretty small War of the Visions community, but we're very passionate. And I think I speak for everyone when I say thank you for all the work that you put in and the passion for your voice acting work with Salir. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Happy 1-year anniversary for War of the Visions. And YouTube, I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.